Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. Today's reading is going to be a fun, juicy topic, just for fun, just to take it in. This is going to be a reading on your seductive powers, how you seduce people. What is your seductive superpower? Okay, please be aware this is an 18 plus reading. If you are not over the age of 18, please click off this reading. This is not for you. Okay, I'm also gonna say, please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave the rest, as the messages may differ for everyone watching. I'm now going to show you crystals. So for pile number 1, we have this red cat's eye crystal. For pile number 2, we have this rose quartz crystal. And for pile number 3, we have this golden cat's eye crystal. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. If you're drawn to more than one pile, you can pick 2 or all of them. Your intuition will always know best. And if you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I will see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this red cat's eye crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at your seductive power. What is your seductive superpower? How you seduce people. So this is going to be a fun reading, a fun, juicy reading, just to kind of see what shows up. And please be aware this is an 18 plus reading. If you're not over the age of 18, please click off this reading. This is not for you. You chose the card Be Spontaneous. I'm going to go ahead and add your cards, but before I do, please note that this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, my pile number 1s. For your cards, we have Aphrodite with Inner Goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. Beautiful. I love that this card comes out for you. We have the 10 of Swords, depicting a woman with a little voodoo doll here. We have an extra little tarot card, which I'll add in a moment. I'll make space for it with a Tower card. Just put that here for now. We have the card Manifestation. We have the card The Portal Keeper. You know, actually, I think I'm going to switch this around. Put these cards here, because I think there's not going to be space for the tarot cards. These cards here, here, and here. Okay, for your tarot cards, we have the 7 of Wands. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Strength card. We have the 4 of Swords. We have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Sun card. We have the 7 of Swords. And we have the 4 of Wands. Okay, my pile number 1s, before we start with your reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you. So the last 3 months, 80% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted and you like this channel, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can create and put out to you guys. Thank you and enjoy the reading. Okay, so now in terms of your seductive power, my pile number ones, I already feel such a powerful energy coming from you as I tap into your energy, my pile number ones, and you're just gonna be mind blown when you hear this. So some of the things I'm gonna say aren't necessarily things you do, but I think you just hold so much seductive power in you that you're not even aware of it. You don't even realize how much seductive power you hold, my pile number ones. And you know, you chose this red cat's eye crystal. Whenever I see this crystal, it gives me just this vibrant energy of like, I think you have very vibrant souls. You're very colorful people. You see life in color. You view the world with such beauty. You have this vibrancy to you. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. It's kind of reminding me, this red crystal, of, you know, in Zack and Cody, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, I think there was a teacher that had some kind of red bracelet, ankle bracelet, and like whenever people would look at her, of course this is a weird combination to talk about because I mean it's a teacher but of course Spirit is just using an example today. You know, she used to wear that and then people would love to look at her ankles and just like almost be so mesmerized by her, you know what I mean? And I think you have that same power, but maybe you don't realize or use it in a bad way. So what I do see here, even since we have this 10 of Swords holding a little voodoo doll here, I think you have a lot of power within you to seduce people. And it's almost like when people see you, I'm picking up it's more so a mental and spiritual thing here with the portal keeper. But also the 4 of Swords relates to our mental space. So it's like when people are seduced by you, it's like your power is enormous. It's immense that their mental state and their spiritual state is just drawn to you. They can't stop thinking of you. It's like you're just in their head all day long, rent-free. You know, maybe even they're at work, they're trying to sleep, but you're in their head, you know what I mean? And that is what I feel your seductive power is. It's like you almost put people under this love spell energy. I don't think you actually put people under love spells because I feel like for some of you, this is my pure soul pile, and you have the purest of pure souls. You couldn't hurt a fly. That's what I'm seeing. So that's why I say maybe you are aware of your seductive power, but you just don't use it in a bad way. But you still have this seductive love spell effect on people. And you know what it's reminding me of? You know the Love Witch movie? So she could literally look at a man and she would psychically draw him to her without even speaking, without even doing anything. She didn't have to look her best. She didn't have to do anything. She didn't have to even lift a finger or speak. In the one scene, she was sitting on a park bench and there was this man talking to another person there, another woman there. And he was talking to her and she started looking at him, and with her eyes, she glanced over to him. She looked at him in his eyes with this lustful power to her, and she just like gazed into his eyes and drew him to her, almost like she put him under she put him under some kind of like love spell in his mind to draw him to her. And it's like, it's almost like this vibe of come to me, come to me, come to me, you can't resist me kind of energy. And it's all like in the mental space, in the spiritual space. And it's like you draw people towards you. You magnetize people towards you. And it's like you don't even have to lift a finger. And then in that scene, he's kind of talking to that woman. And as she gazes to him, he feels her energy. And he feels her pulling him towards her. And he instantly stops speaking to that woman mid-sentence and walks over to her, doesn't even say anything to the other woman. His concentration is not even on the other woman. His concentration is on the love witch. And then he starts talking to her, and later on in the movie, you know, she kind of like goes over to his house and everything like that. She gives him some kind of psychedelic drink, and I think it had some kind of love spell in the psychedelic drink. I'm not too sure, but then like he started drinking that psychedelic drink, and before then she was wearing black, and then she was like stripping for him. That's the scene Spirit is showing me. She was stripping for him, putting her leg up on the table, and then like pulling her clothes off, and then inside of her clothes in the linen there was a rainbow. And then he was almost like begging for her because he wanted her so bad, and he was like begging for her, and he's like, I want your rainbows. And she's like, I only show this rainbow to a certain amount of people. You're special for seeing this rainbow. And then he was like, give me your rainbows. Like, and he wanted to almost be like immersed in her energy. You get what I mean? And then she started throwing her underwear on him, and then he just like started like sniffing it all over, and like almost like he was obsessed over her in some kind of way. Do you get what I mean? It was almost like he was begging for her, but she wasn't even doing much. It was just that power she held and that pure belief in herself and confidence in the way she moved and the way she kind of drew him in. And, you know, I think you have strong manifestation powers, my pile number ones. You know, with this rain falling down, it's kind of giving me this energy. You know, when rain falls, it's very powerful. It can fall very hard, very fast, where people need to run inside. You know what I mean? And it's almost like I'm hearing them as run inside because they can't resist your magical superpower of seducing people in. And you do it in a very grounded state where you're very grounded and they're like all over the place. And you know, with the rain, when I think of rain, rain can also bring on storms. And here we see a storm or a lightning bolt hitting the tower. So it's like when you almost hit people with your seduction power, it's like you have strong manifestation powers that link up to your seductive power, if that makes sense. And it's like, it's powerful, it comes hard and it comes fast, and that lightning bolt hits them and they're all of a sudden falling hard and fast for you, and they can't control it, they can't resist. You know, with the 7 of Wands here, the 2 of Swords, the Strength card, it's like when people are seduced by you, they have no strength, they have no mental strength, especially because we have 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords. It's a mental kind of situation and a spiritual kind of energy of like drawing people in. You know what I mean? And it's like they have no choice in the matter. They have no choice but to be seduced by you, even if they don't want to. It's like as soon as they look at you, boom, bam, they're falling hard and fast, and they've almost like lost their strength. And you do it in such a grounded way, whereas they're almost like in that storm energy of like falling hard and fast for you like rain. And I think you have that kind of superpower, almost like rain, to just seduce people and make them fall hard and fast. And it's like they almost get all over the place with their energy for you, and it's like they can't control it, if that makes sense. And you know what this energy is reminding me of? A song I heard. I'm just gonna try find the lyrics, but it's almost like you get into people's head and they can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop like dreaming about you. They can't stop thinking about you at work. They can't stop thinking about you when they're about to go to bed. And it's like your seduction power is so powerful, they can't resist you. Let me just find the song. Okay, so it's Have You Seen Her? And the lyric I'm seeing here that I'm drawn to: we laugh, tell a few jokes, but it still doesn't ease my pain. I know I can't hide from a memory, though day after day I've tried. I keep saying she'll be back, but today again I've lied. Oh, I see her face everywhere I go, on the street and even at the picture show. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Oh, I hear her voice as the wind blows, blow. In the sweet music on my radio. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Why, oh why did she have to leave and go away? I've been used to having someone to lean on. Tell me, have you seen her? Oh, she left her kiss upon my lips, but that break within my heart. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? And it's almost like people see you everywhere they go, on the billboards, on the street. They're like watching something on TV, they're seeing your face, and it's like they can't get you out of their mind. And maybe even people from the past, because here we hear things of like, oh, I miss her, like I long for her kind of energy. And I think you'd naturally have that seductive effect on people. That's so cool. But I feel like you're almost like this free-spirited person, very grounded in your own energy. And the more grounded you are in your own energy, the more like confident you are in your own presence. You don't even have to do anything, and then it's like they almost chase after you, and you could be the one that got away to a lot of exes or people from your past where they can't get you out of their head. You're still living rent-free in their head. And I feel like you have the superpower of manifestation, of putting almost like this love spell energy on people, of without a love spell, of like making them almost fall hard and fast. And the mental and spiritual realms, it's like that is your superpower there. And since you have Aphrodite coming up with Inner Goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. And then here we see this shell she's sitting in. It does give me very much like this Venusian energy. It's like you've been blessed by Aphrodite herself, by beauty, by love, by just this kind of seductive superpower. It's like you've been blessed by Aphrodite herself with this intense seductive energy, this intense alluring energy. You know what I mean? And Aphrodite was the goddess of beauty, of romance, of sex, and I feel like it's weird because it's not weird, but it's weird because whenever I do like these beauty videos, I notice Aphrodite usually comes up in pile 1. Some of you work with Aphrodite and it's almost like she blesses you with some of her appeal, if that makes sense. Whereas others of you, it just, maybe you don't work with her, but you just have this very divine goddess god feeling to you, like almost like people can't resist you and they're put under your love spell and it's like you have this divine feeling to you where it's just like people fall in love with you. I mean, she was the most beautiful goddess of them all. So that's the vibe I feel from you. And as I said, this is my pile of pure souls, but also free spirits. And although you have this pure soul innocence to you, I think people pick up on it and it makes them fall for you even harder. But I also think it's like people want to love you for your traits. It's not just the seductive energy. It's also like when people start to get to know you, they start to realize you're trustworthy because you're so seductive. Sometimes people are discerning over you and they're like, this person's so beautiful. This person's too good to be true. But then once they start to get to know you, it's like, oh, this person is trustworthy. But it's almost like you're so seductive that it seems too good to be true. That you could be a lover as well. But I think, when people get to know you, they start to see, oh, this person's so seductive. They have so much seductive power to them, but they don't use it in a bad way. And I'll tell you why in a moment. I'm just like getting through all the energies. Like I saw many visions for you when I was already preparing your pile. So I'm just kind of like going through it in my mind in the order I want. Let me tell you quickly. So I saw a movie when I was like pulling your cards and preparing your cards with the 7 of Swords and 4 of Wands. When these two card combinations came out together, I saw a vision of a movie I watched a long time ago. And when I see a vision of something I've even forgotten about in my mind, I know it's real. You know what I mean? It's not like I just watched it the other day and I'm seeing it, but like literally I forgot about this movie and I saw the vision of it for you. And when I explain this to you, you're going to understand what I mean by your immense seductive power, that it can be used in the wrong way. I'm noticing we have 777 here. So you're very lucky with seducing people. And manifesting them in strong manifestation powers, strong spiritual powers, because 777 also relates to spirituality and mysticism. Anyways, back to my point. When you listen to the story, you're going to understand what I mean by your immense seductive superpowers. Okay? So the movie was called Heartbreakers. I had to go and Google it and see what it was called. And basically, it was this mother and daughter that were working together. And if I remember correctly, they were very, very pretty. They were very, very pretty women. And it's like the mother and daughter work together, and the movie's called Heartbreaker. And the daughter and the mother, run this kind of energy of like, seducing men, getting them to marry them. And the 4 of Wands can relate to marriage in love readings, and it's the vision I saw as soon as I saw these two card combinations. And they would like date a man, while the older woman would date a man. And then the younger woman would come in with like a costume so that they wouldn't know it's the daughter, and like wear a wig and things like that, and almost like seduce the soon-to-be husband of the mother, right? And then they would work together where the husband or soon-to-be husband doesn't, or the husband, I think, because I think they got like, they wanted to marry men and then get their money, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, you can always correct me in the comments, because I haven't watched this movie in a long time. But like, I think it was after they were married so that they could get money from the man. Because if I'm not mistaken, some divorce laws are around like cheating. If they cheat, then, or some agreements when you get married are if they cheat, they owe you money or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about that. But if I'm not mistaken, that was like the storyline. And then they would kind of like get the man to get caught in the act of cheating with the daughter. But then it was almost like the daughter would seduce the man in such a seductive way, and then the mom would walk in and find out. But later on in the movie, the daughter actually doesn't want to be a heartbreaker anymore. She starts falling for a guy, and that's why I say also, like, my pile number ones, I don't feel like you use this in a bad way, but I feel like you have this power to you where you're able to even do that. You know what I mean? I think Spirit wouldn't give me this message if you were going to take this and use it in a nasty way to hurt people. I don't think Spirit would actually give me this information if you were going to use this information in the wrong way. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you have this immense seductive power that you could even do that, get away with it, and you could gain so much money from but I know, like, that's not the way to go. But that was the vision I saw. But of course, this is just a fun, juicy reading. This is not serious, you know what I mean? And I do feel like you also just have people almost long for you. And it's like you're in their mind for a long time. And even people from the past, it's like they can't get over you. It's almost like they go through rock bottom moments. And you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye? I'm seeing a lot of visions for you, my pal ones. You may like a lot of movies, or you may like visual things, like you may be very creative with the sun, some of you. Or you may just like looking at things in a visual way. I'm seeing a vision of like a man that, you know, maybe you've broken up with, and he's sitting at his TV drinking beers all day, and he's like almost in a slump because he can't get over you. And then he comes to your house knocking on your door, and he's like bringing flowers, and he's like, I miss you, baby, please come back to me, like I can't get over you. And I'm hearing I'm hearing like your spirit guides are actually very funny. I'm hearing your spirit guides be like screaming, crying, throwing up. They're screaming, crying, they're throwing up. And I'm seeing like, this is actually so funny. I wish you could see this the way I'm seeing this. I'm seeing like someone cry at someone's doorstep, and like they're crying, and like snot bubbles are coming out of their nose. And they're like begging you for you back. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this is so funny, but it's making me laugh. Anyways, and then they're like begging for you back, and then you're like, Mark, it's been 4 years. Like, what? I'm already in another relationship. But I almost feel like it's people from your past that didn't necessarily value your worth. And of course, there is a good reason why you left, because the Seven of Swords energy is also a sneaky energy. I don't know why that was so funny, but that actually made my day. Thank you, pal ones. But I just feel like you have a very unique superpower of seduction. And I'm also picking up like your voice is pretty seductive, and the way you dress. I think when you dress up, it's like you have this vivid energy to you, like this sunshine energy of just standing out. You also have this magical energy to you with the unicorn here. And it's like people, when they start to fall in love with you, they fall hard and fast, and that is your seductive superpower. And it's like they just want to work for you. They just want to work for you to make you happy. You know what I mean? And the feeling I get here is almost like I would do anything for you. I'm hearing the Weeknd song, I Would Die For You. So it's like when people fall hard for you, they fall hard and fast, and it's like they can't resist that, and all they want to do is make you happy. And I'm feeling like people almost follow after you like a puppy dog and want to do little things for you to make you happy, like maybe make you breakfast in bed, run bath water for you, massage your feet. Like, I just feel like when people are interested in you, or when they fall in love with you, they really want to do that, and they really see a future with you. And it's like when people fall for you, they want to marry you. Like, I'm almost feeling this energy like you could be with this person for a month, and then they're like, I want to get married to you. And it's like you just trigger intense feelings within their mindset and within their psyche and their kind of intuitive mental space. So I feel like you also just have this very seductive energy in the way you dress. Like you look very luxurious, and it's like people see how confident you are in yourself. And it's almost like you just have this magnetizing, alluring effect on people. I'm almost feeling like even this energy of like people would notice the things you like and then want to buy it for you. And it's like they want to spoil you. They want to make you happy. And it's like, yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting. And now Spirit's showing me another vision of the hot chick when they switched bodies. It was like a body switch movie, and she basically switched bodies. Long story short, she switched bodies with like a man, and the man switched bodies with the woman, right? And when the man was in the woman's body, he became a stripper with her body because he was like, I'm gonna use the seductive power like to get my... But this man was already just, I don't know. Anyways, long story short, like he's walking around, and the boyfriend of the woman that was originally in the woman's body walks there, and he's like, baby, I miss you, come back to me. And then she's like, give me your car keys. And then she takes his car, and then she almost like runs him over, and he's like begging on his knees for her. And now I'm hearing that song, begging you. I don't know why this is making me laugh so much, but I think your spirit guides are just very funny. I think this was a fun, uplifting reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Of course, I know you don't use this in a bad way, but very fun, very... made my morning. So thank you for this reading, my pal number ones. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope that you see how seductive you are. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this rose quartz crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at your seductive power. What are your seductive powers? How you seduce people. So this is going to be a fun, juicy reading. And this is an 18 plus reading. So if you're not over the age of 18, please click off this reading. This reading's not for you then. But also please be aware this is a general reading to only take what resonates and leave the rest. You chose the card feelings. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your cards. Let's see what shows up for you today. Okay, as I'm about to add your cards, a spirit is showing me a vision of spicy ramen noodles, or like those spicy noodles that are really, really hot. So that lets me know some of you are really, really hot and spicy, and it's almost like people just want to eat you up. But then like you're very hot, like chili is almost like very hot. So for your cards, we have gracious receptivity, we have sacred lust, we have true love with the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. It's beautiful. We have the Hierophant. Yeah, you see, spicy, hot, but also a loving energy. We'll see as we go by. We have an extra little card with Judgment. I'm just going to put that here for now. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups. And we have the King of Pentacles. So before we start your reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you. The last 3 months, 80% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted and you like this channel, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can create and put out to you guys. Thank you and enjoy your reading. Okay, so now in terms of your seductive superpower, I feel this is my pile of people with very big hearts, and I'm going to tell you this in the beginning because it's going to make sense later on in your reading. So I feel like you have very big hearts. I mean, of course you chose the pink heart. I feel like you're filled with a lot of love in you. You're lovers at heart. You really just see the world with such an intense love, and when you have people around you, you really pour into them. You really have big hearts, and I think a lot of people can see that. But as a result of you having this big heart, it's like you live life through your heart, you walk through your heart, and of course you do have other seductive powers in terms of your physical appearance and everything like that. But this is just one of your other seductive powers I'm going to mention, and it will make sense as I speak. But it's like you just pour into those you love. You pour into everyone. You're a very generous person. You're a very loving person. And since you operate at such a heart level, you know how each chakra can relate to different things, and different people can walk through the world with aligned chakras where maybe they use like 3 different chakras as their main chakras, or I don't mean main chakras, but like the chakras they operate most at. Like some people maybe operate more at a root chakra level because maybe they really like to gym, they really like to exercise, they really are in the physical world, working in their masculine energy a lot. Maybe money is very important to them, so they'd operate more on a root chakra level, whereas maybe others would operate more on a sacral chakra level through their life, where they maybe value pleasure, they value like creativity, they value this and this and this, whereas other people will maybe operate more on the crown chakra level, where they live life through their intuition and their third eye. You get what I mean? But you could operate on, you know, others of those levels, but I'm seeing in terms of your seduction powers, I'm seeing this energy of you operating at a heart level. So your seductive superpower is your heart, and I will explain why in a moment. So when we walk through life with our hearts wide open, and we give love to everyone, and we really show an example of what it's like to have that divine love within us for all human beings, all beings on earth, it's like we are having that gift of divine love. There is actually a gift of divine love where most people that operate on that heart level through their day-to-day life and live life through their heart and follow their heart through everything they do, they usually have the divine gift of love, and they love on a divine level. They love on an unconditional love level, and that's part of their journey. It's part of their gift, you know what I mean? And I feel like you have that gift. And that gift, it's actually a spiritual gift. It interlocks with your actual seductive powers. So let me explain why. So when we operate at a heart level, when we really love at a heart level and we have our hearts wide open in the world, it makes us shine out even more. It makes us seen by people. It makes us really, it just makes us shine out. When our hearts are shining out, it makes us more seen. It makes us more desired. It makes maybe people want to date us more or talk to us more or flirt with us. I have an example of a friend I have that operates on that level, and you know, she's had a lot of people be jealous of her, especially women, because you know, she'd operate on that heart level and maybe those women wouldn't, and those women would be very bitter and cold, and then like their husband would be, or their husband or their boyfriend would be interested in her, but she's not interested in them. But it's because she's living life on such a heart level that people want to get to know her heart, you know what I mean? And it's like people just start to have intense love feelings for her, even though she's not trying to. You know what I mean? When we operate at that level, it's like others can subconsciously feel our energy. And when others are like on that bitter energy, it actually makes them less desirable. It's something that is counterproductive to them, but they don't realize it. As someone that can read energy and auras, it's something I've learned over the years that when we operate on a heart level, we actually shine out to the world more, and we actually attract more love partners, even if, how do I put this in words? Even if we're not looking our best, when our heart is shining out, that is magnetic. And you know, most people are not psychic, but we all are connected to source. So we all feel energies on a subconscious level without realizing. And it's like when people feel your energy, then they start to be induced under these deep feelings, because they're feeling your energy, because I feel like you feel things on a deep level. And since you feel things on such a deep level, I feel like you may be very intuitive as well. Because when we can feel things on a deep level, feelings are connected to the spiritual realms. When we can feel things on a deep level, we can feel spiritual energies too. And it's like when you're in people's vicinity, since you operate at such a heart level, and since your heart is so big and it shines out so much, it's like people start to have deep feelings for you. And then they also start to operate on a heart level when they are around you. It's like their heart, it's like your heart is so open that it opens other people's hearts to feelings and experiences. Even if they are not someone that feels things deeply, when they're around you, it's like they're going to start to feel things deeply. They're going to really start to feel love for you deeply. And it's like your seductive power is making people feel deep feelings for you without realizing, without trying to, by just operating at that deep heart level. It's like your heart shines out and is magnetizing to people, and then maybe, of course, they're first attracted to your physical looks, because we have the Queen of Wands and the Sacred Lust card and the Hierophant, and of course I said spicy hot with those noodles, which I'll explain in a moment. But then they feel attracted to you on a physical level, but then when they start to talk to you and start to connect to your heart, it's like they start to have deep feelings for you that they cannot contain, deep like the ocean. And, you know, if they've once experienced shallow love, where they've only dip their feet in a small pool, this big ocean is going to be a lot for them, because they're not used to that on that level. So for you, I'd say your seductive power is almost like you're as deep as the ocean, your heart, and your heart brings people into the ocean, and if they're not careful, it can almost like drown them. But it's not a bad quality. I just say, you know, sometimes I feel like some of you have like love people interested in you, and it's like, since you have such an energy of making people fall in love with you and have like these deep feelings for you, because they're subconsciously feeling your energy of deep feelings, if we have people that are like repressing their feelings, that are not comfortable with their feelings, that are not emotionally available. It's like your energy is so potent. You know, this is your superpower. This is your seductive superpower, that your energy is so potent. It's almost like a mermaid that has lured someone into this deep sea and they don't know how to swim. They don't know how to swim through their own emotions, let alone feelings for you. So I feel like some of you, if you're single, if you've dated people and you're like wondering why some of them like have these deep feelings for you and then they sometimes don't stick around. It's like you're so potent, your energy is so potent and deep. People need to be able to swim through these waters. And it's like if they are not emotionally available, then it's like they can't swim in your waters. It's like they'd have to wear those kiddie pool things to be able to swim in your water. And I almost feel like you give off that mermaid energy of like luring people into this deep water, and then maybe you kiss them and then they start to breathe underwater. You get what I mean? But it's not that you're not desired. It's just the fact that your energy is so potent. It's like only the best of the best can handle you. And that is a good thing, my pile number 2s. So I think your guides, your ancestors are giving me this message so that you can see it in a different perspective. Because I feel like even that quality of like people getting jealous of you, I think you also have that quality where you're so seductive. Your seductive power is so potent, it can even make people jealous of you. And I think this message is coming out in this way because I think your guides want you to see it in a different perspective. You are desired, you are loved, you are worthy of love, but some people are just not equipped for you. Just like, you know, Spirit's giving me the metaphor of, let's say you are Beyonce, right? And over here we have some man that is like dusty musty. Do you really think he's gonna match up to the level of Beyonce? No. So you need someone to match up to your level because you're a queen, you're a king. As we see here, you give off this royalty energy as well, and you naturally are put onto this pedestal like Beyonce. I'm now hearing the song by Beyonce. Let me just see what it's called. Partition. So I feel like you give off this energy of just standing out, of shining, of almost like royalty energy, queen, king, royalty vibes. And it's like you naturally are put on a pedestal by people. And even here, look at this. It's like your seductive power is so potent that it will even make people worship you. Like, look at this. They're literally worshiping her. And you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye? Someone sitting pretty on the beach with a cocktail in their hand and like two people on their side, feeding them grapes, fanning them. I feel like your seductive power is so immersive. It's like that mermaid siren energy of like luring people into this deep ocean, and then now all of a sudden they want to worship you like you are a queen, a king, a royalty type of person. It's like people put you on this pedestal, and that is also your seductive power. So like I said, your seductive power is firstly making people feel deep feelings for you and like luring them into your deep ocean of feelings where we can swim around freely. But in order to swim around freely, they need to be on your level. They need to be able to be emotionally available. And I think sometimes maybe me not even explaining it in the right way. I think sometimes we see it that way, but actually you're very protected, my pile number 2s, I'm hearing. And sometimes people that are not emotionally available or not able to give you what you need and desire in love, or even in sexual connections, I guess, it's like you're protected from them, where if they swim in your ocean, they're not going to last long there. And Spirit's showing me like survivor. It's like whoever is going to survive the longest in your oceans is going to be with you in that way. You get what I mean? Whoever is the most emotionally available, the most able to give you that emotional support, that is able to be there with you and love you from a true place of love, as we see here, is going to make it. And you know what Spirit's showing me? Shrek and Fiona, when Shrek was like going to her castle and all those skeletons were there on the floor because all those men that went on that quest to rescue her didn't make it. So it's almost like you have this potent superpower of being almost like on this throne, and whoever needs to find you needs to be the best of the best. And it's like, it's almost like Spirit, if you're single, it's like Spirit is allowing people to almost come to your rescue, and if they fail, they're out of the horse race, because it's like Spirit wants the best of the best for you. It's like you're a diamond and you're supposed to go on the finger that is going to take care of you the most, right? You can't go on any dusty, musty finger if you're a diamond. Do you get what I mean? So I think Spirit is bringing it out in this way to show you that you're protected in love, firstly, and sexual connections, because I think your energy is potent, powerful, but also you deserve the best of the best. And it's like Spirit wants to give that to you with the Judgment card here and this. So this is the message from your ancestors. So like I said, firstly, your seductive power, your superpower, is making people feel things deeply, almost being siren-like and luring people in, and like they can't resist your temptation when they see you being there, sitting there, looking pretty. It's like they can't resist you, just like a siren. Maybe some of you have beautiful voices or beautiful singing voices, or you have eyes that are alluring, and it's like when people look into your eyes, it's like they're falling deep into the ocean and they can't stop falling and falling and falling. And that, I feel, is your superpower. And also the third thing I see is like almost like people wanting to worship you, people putting you on a pedestal. That is your third seductive superpower. And it's like they lust over you, but also it's in a sacred way. It's like, it's not just lust, it's also love. It's a sacred lust, as we see here. And you know, she's standing on this lion naked. And the lions are powerful. They're the king of the jungle. And I think if I had to look at your energy, you're like that king, queen of the jungle. You know what I mean? And everyone wants to worship you. And that is your third seductive superpower. But I also feel like you are very physically attractive too. Like I said, very siren-like, luring people in. And I think you're also very confident in yourself. You're very courageous to just stand out and be seen. And you shine naturally. And that is another seductive superpower, power you have, to just stand out and to just be courageous and strong in yourself. And I feel like you give off this cat-lion energy of just standing out, of just being seen, maybe even peacock energy. Like you just stand out, you just shine. And that is also another seductive superpower you have, because when you are in that energy, you're sitting on that throne and everyone is bowing down to you. Now I'm hearing Beyonce's voice, that bow down, bitches. And that's your energy. I think your energy is so powerful, my pile number 2s, but a gentle kind of power in your heart. It's beautiful. And I also feel like you have a lot of life force energy to you. You bring out this kind of excitement in people when they get to know you, because not only are you very physically attractive, very physically seductive, people physically lust over you. Their mouths and jaws, like their mouths water for you, their jaws drop for you, but then they also develop deep feelings for you. It's like a double whammy. And then they start getting excited for like being with you. And I think you have a very playful vibe that just makes people more comfortable, and then they start falling even deeper for you, because Spirit's showing me the dolphin, and it's like a dolphin is very playful. It's very fun, and a dolphin is also a sea creature. You know what I mean? And it like plays, and it's like playful. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you can bring people into the deep waters and almost like bring them on a dolphin kind of energy. And then they almost even forget they're in the water, and they forget they can't swim because they're having so much fun. And that's another seductive power you have. You know what's that saying? Something about make someone laugh and you'll seduce, like they'll fall for you even harder, or something like that. Or is it make her laugh and I don't know, something about that. Like you can make people laugh, and then it's like, ha 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 ha, I'm pulling off my clothes now because you made me laugh. Does that make sense? I'm sorry if that sounds weird, but it's the message I'm hearing from Spirit. It's like you seduce people with laughter and with fun. Okay, and I'm also feeling like your energy is just so bright that people just love to be around you. You know what I mean? And when you love from a very deep level where you really pour into those you love. And I think your energy is also very healing, that it brings like people this freedom, like they are that dolphin swimming in the sea. Now they all of a sudden know how to swim where they never know how to swim before, and like they're bouncing around like a dolphin, like in the water like this, and they feel so free. And that is the feeling I get, like you almost bring this free energy to those that fall in love with you, because your energy is so healing. You have the divine gift of love, and when you pour that love into people, it's healing to their hearts, and it just makes them feel free. And I'm almost feeling like your energy is also addictive. That's another seductive superpower you have, because your energy is addictive. That's something I'm hearing. Like I'm feeling like people get addicted to your love. Because you know why? Spirit's showing me a vision of a conversation I had with my boyfriend the other day, where he was like, he was making a joke, like we were talking about nicotine patches, and I don't know how we got to this, but he said like there's a saying like put a nicotine patch on her and go on dates with her, and then she'll think she's falling in love with you, and then actually when she's not with you, she's actually having withdrawal symptoms. So Spirit showed me a vision of that. So that means your energy is like a drug. Like people get addicted to it. Your love is a drug, and it's like they just want to worship you. And I think a lot of people find you to be very hot, spicy, sexy, and it's like a lot of people look at you, and as we see in this Hierophant card, a teacher, usually teachers are in class with normal clothes, but like it's almost like people want to undress you with their eyes. That's the feeling I get. But then they also start to fall deeply in love with you, and I feel like it's people all over the world. I also feel like your voice is very beautiful. Your voice is very powerful and seductive as well. And your energy seduces people. It's very powerful and potent. And I feel like some of you are creative as well in the way you dress. And it's like, that's also something that seduces people. But also I feel like a lot of you are in your truth. And it's like, I'm hearing like your marriage material. You live in your truth, you live in your heart, and it's like when people start to fall for you, they fall deep and hard. But then they also start having a lot of lust for you. And I feel like a lot of you have very sexy bodies. You're very spicy, very hot, very sexy, but also very pretty. And also you have a pretty heart is something I'm seeing. And I think you're always leveling up. You also have a very nurturing energy that just makes people want you even more. And I also feel like in terms of strangers, you have a very mysterious energy where they just want to get to know you more. But I'm also seeing an energy, people almost have, you almost have this like love spell on people from your past where like they can't stop thinking about you. It's similar to pile one. I think something I said to them was like, I saw like a man coming to their door, crying, screaming, throwing up. I think it was towards the end of pile one. And then they're like, come back to me, baby. And then the person's like, it's been 4 years. And then they slam the door and or like they're like, it's been 4 years, I'm already in another relationship. And I feel like you also have that effect on exes and people from your past, like where you're still in their memories, you're still living in their head rent free. And that is another seductive superpower you have. But also another seductive superpower you have, the last thing I'm going to mention here, is your ability to just make people fall unconditionally in love with you. And then it's like, there's many reasons why, but also you have many seductive superpowers I may not even mention. So if you were drawn to other piles, you're more than welcome to watch, because we have the 7 of Cups here representing many, many different things about you. The last thing I'll say here is you make people fall so in love with you that they just want to spoil you. With the King of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles, it's like, baby, I want to buy you a house. I want to buy you a mansion. I want to buy you a ticket to fly here with me. I want to buy you this. Or maybe it's not even buying, because here we see this person carrying shopping bags for this lady, and she's sitting in this bath, brought her a drink. So it's not just with money. It's like people want to spoil you as well with like acts of service. Like, let me cook you a meal in the morning, baby. Like almost like coming and rushing to you and wanting to almost worship you by giving you a lot. And like with gracious receptivity here, that is another superpower you have, to be able to just almost be treated like a princess, like a queen, like a king by people, because it's like they just want to give to you, and it's like a need they have. You know what I mean? And it fulfills them in some way. So that is what I see in your reading. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this golden cat's eye crystal, this reading is for you. By the way, if you can hear the gardeners in the background, I apologize in advance. They just started gardening and making noise. So if you can hear it, I'm so sorry for that. Please be aware, we are doing a reading on your seductive power. So this is an 18 plus reading. If you're not over the age of 18, this reading's not for you. And please also be aware, this is a general reading, to only take what resonates and leave the rest. You chose the card Magic. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your cards now. Okay, so for your cards, we have Brazen, we have Manifestia, we have Mother Earth with You Are Called to Help with Environmentalism. Okay, I don't think the words at the bottom match the actual reading. You'll see in a moment. We have the Universe, which is the World card. So interesting that we have Mother Earth and the World card showing the Universe. And we see Miss Universe here with this immense power. Interesting. We have an extra little tarot card here with the Sun card. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the Empress. We have the King of Wands. We have the Emperor. And lastly, we have the Two of Wands with another Earth here. So a lot of symbolisms of Earth. That's interesting. We'll see in a moment. Let me just put this here. Okay, so before we start with your reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you. The last 3 months, 80% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted and you like this channel, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps my channel more than you know, and the bigger my channel gets, the more content I can create and put out to you guys. Thank you and enjoy the reading. So in terms of your seductive power, I feel here with the Emperor showing up, with the World here, with Mother Earth here. You know what your energy is reminding me of? I'm going to explain a personal story I've had, of a personal encounter I've had with Mother Gaia. And the reason I'm explaining this energy to you, I don't usually like to tell people my spiritual encounters with beings because I think it's very sacred. But I think in this case, I feel Mother Gaia here with all the earth symbolism. And I feel her actually urging me to tell the story of the encounter I had with her. So as I explain this encounter, it's not going to make sense in the beginning. But as I go along, you'll understand. Okay, so with the card Magic, with Manifestia, I feel like you have a magical quality to you and the energy of creation, because Spirit is showing me the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is by a woman's womb space. Of course, this does not have to relate to gender, but the sacral chakra is the energy of creation. It's also the energy of our sexual organs and that magnetic energy of manifesting things in. It kind of reminds me of the energy of this YouTuber I watched a while ago. Her name is It's Baby J, and she basically talks about how the sacral chakra, if you're interested, maybe go watch her videos. She basically talks about how the sacral chakra and how the sacral chakra leads to this energy of pleasure, but it also creates. So within that energy of pleasure, within that energy of finding pleasures within our daily life, we can actually create and manifest things much quicker. So I feel like you have that power of the sacral chakra, the energy of creation. Some of you could be creative in some way, or if not, you just have the power of the sacral chakra, where in pile 2, I spoke about how each person has their chakras and some people operate on a chakra more than others. So in pile 2, I spoke about how they operate on the heart chakra because they live their life through their hearts, and I feel like you do too. But I feel in this case, you operate more on the sacral chakra, where you find your pleasure in daily life, where you find these simple pleasures of life in food, in touch, in your sensuality, in all the 5 senses. You live life to the fullest, and you kind of live through your senses, and you live through experiencing pleasure in daily life. not just sexual pleasure, but the pleasures of life, like feeling the sand on our feet and feeling the waves touch our feet, smelling a candle and really taking in that smell, the pleasure of being human. And as I speak, I'm getting to a point, it's all going to make sense and wrap together perfectly. So the reason why Mother Gaia is showing up is because she showed me a vision. I was going through some kind of awakening, and at one point in my spiritual journey, I was actually very close to Mother Gaia. Well, I think she was around me a lot, giving me that grounded energy for some reason. I don't know why, but she was around me a lot. And at that time, I was not new to the spiritual journey, but I was kind of like getting into it a little bit more. I would say I was at an intermediate phase. I had not started my YouTube channel yet or anything like that, but I had decided to go on some plant medicine. I'm not going to go further into details because, of course, that's personal and private to me, but I went on some kind of plant medicine thing. And anyways, later on, I was into that space and experience in that sacredness, I kind of like prayed and I asked to be shown something that would awaken me, something that would show me something very beautiful from the divine. So that night, actually a lot happened. I can't even explain it. Like, I'm gonna be here all day if I explain the whole day, the whole like experience to you, because I first saw my grandma, and my grandma was first healing my heart. First, like, I saw my grandma there, and like my deceased grandma, and she was like pulling all the sadness, all the pain out of me. And then once she had kind of like renewed my aura, long story short, I felt like this rainbow energy around me, and it was almost like I was being rebirthed in my energy. And later on, after that, my grandma wanted to introduce me to a being, which was Mother Gaia. And I don't know who the other being was. There was a sun being there. And basically what Mother Gaia had shown me was the creation of Earth in her eyes. I don't know if this is a real creation of Earth. I don't believe Mother Gaia would be God, but basically just the creation of Earth, because I think God created the whole universe. Well, I'm not religious, but of course I'm also not here to put my beliefs onto you. I'm just telling you the story because it relates back to your energy. So basically what I saw was the creation of Earth, and there was Mother Gaia there, and that sun being, like I said. Mother Gaia looked so beautiful. She was huge. She looked like a huge mountain, like next to me. She was huge. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, her energy was huge. And she was covered with all these evergreen, beautiful leaves all over her body. And she just looked so beautiful, so lush, like a lush forest, like on her body. I don't know how to explain it, but it was a magical experience. And, you know, you're my magical pile, so I think you may actually understand me on this one, which is maybe why Spirit wants to share it. Anyways, later on, she shows me the creation of Earth, and I see the sun being there, and he is bright. He's just like so bright, like I'm looking at the sun, and like there's these flames all around him, and he's literally a ball of fire, like almost an energy, but in a man energy. So it was basically just the masculine and the feminine energy in like a god and goddess. I don't know who this fiery being was. The sun being was. Anyways, they were a couple in this in the astral realms, and they were kind of, it's funny that the universe is next to the Mother Earth, because it's actually the vision I saw. I saw them in outer space, and everything was dark and everything like that, and I saw Mother Gaia and the sun being. like actually have sexual intercourse together. But to me, when I look back at it, it actually makes sense because, you know, how do we make babies? Even the Empress card talks about the energy of creation, because in the usual Rider-Waite card, she's a pregnant woman. And usually when we see pictures of Mother Earth, we'll see her as like a pregnant Mother Earth with Mother Earth's baby or something like that. So anyways, we also have the sun here, which can sometimes represent a childlike energy. Anyways, I saw them together sexually, and she basically showed me how Earth was created in her eyes. And maybe this was just like a magical experience she wanted to show me. Maybe it was not real, but this is the story. Anyways, they were together, and he had to cover himself in a layer of water to be able to interact with her and not burn her, right? Because she was earth and he was fire. And around them was air, and he was covered in water because they were in the universe. They were in space. There was just stars in space around. It was almost like they transported me there, and I was seeing it happen in real life. It was magical. And later on, like, they were busy kissing and touching each other. I guess it was not uncomfortable for me in that moment. It wasn't like a weird situation. I didn't see it in a weird way. You get what I mean? And they were like kissing, and they were basically together in a sexual way. And his water was around her, nurturing her plants on her skin. And as his water started touching her skin, like he started touching her skin, more plants would grow on her skin. And, you know, as we think of photosynthesis, it kind of makes sense because the sun gives energy to the plants. Maybe she was just explaining it to me in a scientific way, but I was seeing it in that way. I don't know. But maybe she just wanted to tell it in a story. But anyways, the sun being is like touching her with his water, and like his water, as he's touching her body, it's making the plants grow on her. And then some plants are like falling down onto like this. It's almost like there's no gravity, but they could make gravity fall in a specific place where the plants would fall. And like there was plants growing all around her, and then they were like together in an intimate way. And then as they were like about to finish, like he made her come anyways. And like I saw a bunch of water come out like her private part space, and like that like grew flowers inside her, and like the flowers were coming out of her and like going onto this pool of space where the earth was starting to be created. And then the earth wasn't created yet, and then I saw her kind of being pregnant with Earth's baby and like giving birth to Earth, if that makes sense. And then I saw them painting together. They were using actual creative methods to create earth, but also pleasure. So it relates back to the sacral chakra energies. And they were painting on the sky, like on these stars, and they were painting earth, and they were singing, and they were dancing, and all that energy of creation and pleasure, that sacral chakra energy, created earth. And then after that, Mother Gaia showed me my own, you know, like when we see in those olden day temples or places where there would be prophecies, and then the people would draw on those rocks. So she showed me my own prophecy on like rocks, and she showed me, now it's your turn to create. And basically the moral of her story was that the energies of the divine masculine and divine feminine coming together is so powerful. It can literally create immense amount of things, but also the energy of creativity creates. And then she was like, now it's your turn to create. Go and create in the world. Paint your reality like your canvas. And this is what I feel your spiritual gift is. You have strong manifestation abilities. You have a strong sacral chakra energy where you can create things you can create the most magical things in terms of creativity, in terms of creation in general, like creating a business, creating your reality, manifestation. You have strong manifestation and magical abilities. Even here we see Merlin, you know what I mean? So I feel like that is your spiritual abilities. But once these potent spiritual abilities mix with the sexual kind of like energy, your sacral chakra energies, mix with that, makes it so potent and powerful where you can actually create. And that is your seductive power, to be able to create and manifest anything. And the kind of energy I'm talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out there and create something. It just means you have the power of creation within you. And that means, I'm hearing the song I Want It, I Got It. I Want It, I Got It by Ariana Grande. So if you want something, you got it. If you believe you can create a reality with that in your life, you got it. If you want this person over here, say you're the Empress energy, not related to gender, but like, let's just say you're this Empress energy of being so magnetic, so powerful in your magnetic energy. That's the sacral chakra energy, magnetizing things, attracting things, manifestation, because the sacral chakra energy is also the part of us that receives, you know what I mean? And I feel like you have that almost same superpower as Mother Gaia, or maybe she's blessed you with this power in some way, or maybe you're connected to Mother Gaia in some way. But you have that same power of creation, creating your reality. And if I want that person in my reality as my lover, if I believe it, I can have them. Just like magic. Now I'm hearing the song by Ariana Grande. Just like magic, I attract. So it's like you can just attract anything, and that is your seductive superpower. If you want someone over there and you believe they're out of your league, you can get them if you want them, just like that, just with a snap of the finger. And that is your superpower. That is your seductive superpower, is being able to manifest and attract people and whoever you want. Say you want this person over here, and let's say they are a celebrity. You can attract them like that if you wanted to. You get what I mean? And you could make them fall head over heels in love with you in your reality. And that is your superpower, manifestation and creation. Let's say you want your ex back, but he's with another girl. You can manifest him like that. He's yours. That is your superpower, my pal threes. And this is potent. This is powerful energies. Because, I mean, if an actual deity is coming through in a reading, if a goddess is coming through in a reading, this is a powerful energy, my pal threes. You're powerful. Don't forget that. And, you know, this card with Brazen, we see her shaking her hips. And she's said to have, this woman over here is said to have a superpower where she can shake her hips and almost put people under a love spell by shaking her hips. So I feel like you have this seductive power to you where you almost like make people fall in love with you like they're under a love spell, like they're under some magical spell and they've just fallen for you. But I don't think it's just like a magical energy. I think it's also like you have a very marriage material type of vibe is what I'm hearing from spirit. And already, even if you didn't know this, you already have this power within you without even realizing it. And it's like wherever you go, if you talk, if you move, it's like you almost put people under this love spell. Now I'm hearing that song by the internet where it's like a long song, but then towards the end she says something. I just want to get the lines for you. So the song's called Palace Curse, but then towards the end, so she's like, baby, you made me believe I could fall in love at first sight. How you stopped me with your body, I'm under your curse. Baby, I'm under your curse. That's how she goes. And then she's like, my baby, gotta come towards me, baby. Baby, you made me believe I could fall in love at first. Baby, I'm under your curse. So it's almost like people are under your love spell and you're just like, come to me, and they come to you like that. And that is your superpower. It's like this potent spiritual magical essence you have that is able to attract anyone and make them fall in love with you just like that. And even if you didn't know about this, I feel like you are marriage material on its own already with your own energy without these seductive powers, because the Queen of Cups is opposite the Empress, and that already just makes people fall in love with you without even realizing, because you're such an empathetic, such a loving, magical, generous person. It's like everyone wants you, and we see here people almost fighting to get you to be in a relationship with you. And it's like when people fall in love with you, their mind can't even tell them anything. And it's kind of reminding me of like a reel I watched when someone like posted something and they were like, when you start dating a spiritual girl and then you hear voices, it's almost like you have this energy of like, baby, come to me, baby, come to me. And it's like they can't even think anymore. They just gotta come to you. Like, that's the feeling I get. It's almost like you have the world in your hands. You have this immense amount of seductive superpower, and it's like many people want you at once, because we even see 2 men here and 1 woman. So everyone wants you, my pal threes. And you literally have people almost fighting over you, wanting you. You may not even realize that. Like, let's say you went out with a bunch of people and 2 friends saw you, and then they're like, I want them, no, I want them, I want them, no, I want them, and they're fighting, but you don't even realize it over who's gonna have you. And I feel like you have this immense beauty to you with the Empress, sexiness, seductiveness, but you also have a beautiful heart. You have a heart of gold. And I literally feel like people, when they start to fall in love with you, it's almost like you have them under a love spell and they can do anything that you want. Because look at this. We even see Miss Universe here. This is a powerful energy, and she's wearing a crown. Powerful energy. It's like when people start to fall in love with you, they start to fall deeply in love, and it's almost like they're under a love spell, metaphorically, but they're not really. And you have all the power, and it's like they just want to give to you. They just want to spoil you. They just want to make you happy. And I feel like you also have that energy of like people wanting to spoil you all the time. So this was your reading, my pile number 3s. You have a lot of power to you, more than you realize. And with this knowledge, you can transform any situation. You can manifest any outcome. You can paint your reality the way you want. And that was your reading. I really hope that this resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And of course, if you want to see more, because I think we're more so focused on this manifestation energy, if you were drawn to any other piles, you're more than welcome to watch. But this was your reading. I really hope that this resonated, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!